So the question we must ask ourselves, where do we stand in this nation when the police is being sent out against us on a peaceful protest just to swim? It is only to swim, and many of us can't swim. We're just going to dip in the water and walk on the sand.
My heart bleeds that my own people have guns. If I step across this fire, and the man shoot me in my head and kill me because the man them with the money and the power turn you against me. That hit me.
All people died in these waters. We deserve that. Not somebody with a strange phenotype and a strange name. It is ours. We will fight and die for this.
Calling on the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness. This is in your court now.
The protest is all about the taximan them under too much pressure, right? We don't. The government have some laws that we don't have nowhere to stop on the road, basically, right? Them implement some laws that anywhere we stop at all, basically, we're gonna get a ticket for. You understand? So it's like between a rock and a hard place, and we're tired of it, right? We're very tired of it. They're gonna take away 20,000 drivers' license, right? You are creating 20,000 criminals when you do that. Because when they take away the driver's tool, what they're going to do, what are they going to turn to? Now in this country, don't have a lot of jobs. So I think the government need to rethink this, yes, and wheel and come again. Darrell Vaz, too much pressure on motorists. You guys owe us over $3.8 billion worth of overpriced tickets. We haven't gotten any news of, oh, you guys, the court order you guys to pay us back. And up to now, we still don't hear how you're going to pay us back that money. But yet still you guys are implementing some laws to pressure the same man them want to owe so much money. The results that we're looking for, retrack, but that statement or that law that you're going to pass for the man them to have, like, as long as them reach 10 points, them take away them license. Because it's so easy. One seat belt, 4 points. 2 points of 2 points of a license for one seat. Obstructing traffic, right? 4 points, right? The cell phone law, that's the main one that we have a problem with. They say, okay, don't use a cell phone. We agree with that because it's dangerous to use a cell phone. But how you're gonna charge a driver? Or you're gonna charge a driver to have your cell phone in your lap or even on the seat, on the seat? They're charging you for if a cell phone in a lap or on a seat or anywhere in your body. That is stupid. Not even in America. We don't have that law.
Where you stand up and, for instance, you come in on the road and you pull over somewhere and stop and let off a passenger or whatever. A police stop you and say you obstruct traffic. Them write you all 7 tickets. Each one of them tickets they value at least $5,000. The cheapest one must say if you don't have a seat belt or whatever, you pay like $2,500. But you still lose points. Alright? In them 7 tickets, you know, you can lose your license in them 7 tickets alone. You know, overtake a line of traffic, you know, do a dangerous driving and whatever, you just stop and the police say obstruct traffic and then find 7 for right here. When you go in front of the judge, your license gone. Them thing there, have to address. Cannot be like that.
But my problem is that as to the street, where we're standing right now, and they stand right now, if you come here so, and they stand full, and you go to the extreme left to let off, a policeman will go and stand there to give you a ticket to obstruct traffic while you're not in the middle of the road, right? And me get ticket for that right now is in court, right? Me as a right now, the system of where I face as taxi operator, the system need for address on a different level. Pertaining to the yellow line on the road, most as taxi operator, you can't take people from one bus stop to the next bus stop to let them have when time them workplace is exactly just below the other bus stop, in the middle of the other bus stop. They go out of your stop. If you find a suitable place and let off, as long as there's a yellow line, the police going to be there to give you a ticket to obstruct traffic on the road, even when there is no traffic.
The Minister of Finance, in terms of, shut your mouth and let me talk. I know you would find it. I know you would have a problem with that. I know you would have a problem with that. I know you would have a problem with that. No, I know you would have a problem with that.
Madam Speaker.
I know you would have a problem with that.
Point of order, Madam Speaker. Point of order.
I have not made my point.
Point of order, Madam Speaker. The member has used unparliamentary language in the Honourable House by indicating that the member should shut his mouth. That's unparliamentary language for which he must withdraw. And so is
who is he referring to as Masamart in the Parliament?
That's it.
Who is he referring to
Madam Speaker,
as Masamart?
you need to name the member.
That is not parliamentary language either.
Draw your words and then you can go ahead.
To do it. If I'm to withdraw it, I'm not going to do it on your terms. You don't have the right. No, I'm not. No, I am not going to do it on your terms. I am willing to withdraw it, but not on your terms. Not while you try to shut me up. The members over there say shut him out every day and you have nothing to say about it.
I'm here today to complain on behalf of the average citizen who is struggling to pay their bills, to send their children to school, and to afford to go to work every day. I don't know who is evaluating these politicians. I don't know who gave them the right to give themselves a raise of 200 to 300%. But we the Jamaican people say it is undeserved, it is very disrespectful, and it is very inconsiderate, and it is blatant theft. We demand that they take back this ruling or whatever it is. We will not accept it and we will not pay for it. I've been a driver for 18 years. I've driven JUTC with the Bloomfield. I've driven many places. And this is the same treatment we get. And this is why I'm out here this morning. CarMed staff that I carry, she has no respect for us, the drivers. No respect. And I'm here this morning. A lot of employees that we have driven, poster drivers, they have no respect for us. The increase of pay, they don't want to give it. Because they're not paying any subsidies for us. We have to be doing that. So therefore, I am out here this morning asking that they give an increase to drivers, better pay, better rest time, and all those things. And I'm supporting the teachers too. My grandmother is a past educator, and I'm here to support.
The remuneration, the salary increase that the government has given to themselves is exorbitant. I'm not saying they shouldn't get anything, but I think it's exorbitant and that they need to roll it back. I also think that the timing is really, really bad. I mean, for politicians, I thought they would have considered the timing more than they have. At the time when teachers are saying that they need more doctors and other public servants, and they're not being able to get what they want. I hear that in one case, the teachers are being offered $30,000 over 3 years as an increase. That is not right for the government to get this kind of increase when they are not allowing others who are justified in getting a better increase from doing so. That's my opinion.
Now, you know, there is a certain Swahili proverb that goes, ukiona mwenzako amenyolewa kichwa, basi tia lako maji. Now, it translates to, if you see that your friend or your neighbor has been shaven, like me, I was shaven very badly by this barber. I think I'm never going back there. So if you see your neighbor or your friend is cleanly shaven, what you should do is to prepare your head to be shaved. Yeah. You're in a line, and now you have to make sure that your head has soap. In the traditional African ways, to prepare your head to be shaven, you need to apply some soap on your head to soften the hair, because Africans, we have really hard hair. You put some soap, and then the grandfather or the grandmother, normally a grandfather, would come and with a razor, and they would try and shave you with the razor blade. Yes. So Africans, we still had our own ways of cleaning ourselves up without this technology. Yeah. Now let's move all the way to the Caribbean. Yes. Whatever is happening in the Caribbean is somebody who is next to be shaved, or they just waited for someone else to be shaved and now it's their time. There are protests in Jamaica. Jamaicans are protesting against the government. Actually, according to my research, they have been protesting for the longest time now. And now it has reached my attention that I need to speak about this. Jamaicans are protesting against poor leadership. Jamaicans are protesting against the Prime Minister. If you know that guy, the Prime Minister, he normally seemed to be a cool guy. He seemed to be so quiet and, you know, he's so much composed. But let me tell you one thing. Just because someone is composed, just because someone is quiet, and you see like they don't have much to say, does not make them less of evil. You understand? Because I'm saying evil already. It's not like I'm judging them yet, but I'm saying evil because people protest because of evil things being done to them. Hence, me using the word evil. Because they are quiet and composed does not make them less evil. In fact, the most evil people are the people who are most composed. Those people who are going to the protests are not the most evil. They are angered. Evil people will use angered people to achieve their goals. They are master orchestrators. They know how to tune anger to work on their favor. You understand? This is the same case that has always been happening in Kenya. The president of Kenya is saying that some of these youths who are demonstrating are criminals. Yeah, criminals. President Ruto went ahead and issued a sniper. He issued a sniper to take down the youth because he thought among the youth was infiltrated people who are criminals. He called them criminals and terrorists. I don't know where and how demonstrators evolved to become terrorists. But somehow he had a point. Somebody can use someone else's anger to achieve their goal. The person being used is always less evil. Actually, let me tell you, they're less evil. The greater evil and the person who should serve the greatest judgment is the person who orchestrates it. It's the mind which plans it. It's the mind which pushes it. And this is the problem happening in Jamaica. The Prime Minister is too quiet. The people are so pissed off. I don't want to say much. Now, I want us to watch this video, get some context as to why Jamaicans are protesting, so that you will also understand what I'm telling you right now. And then by the end of the video, we shall discuss this video with a deep critical analysis. Let's dive in right away.
Let's head over to Portland now, where some residents are seeking Prime Minister Andrew Holness's intervention regarding the closure of the Blue Lagoon attraction. Now, scores of people gathered at the site earlier today to protest the suspension of activities. Now, as Sandy Williams reports, the facility was closed last year to accommodate renovations.
We come in the name of Queen Nanny of the Maroons. We come in the name of Queen Nanny of the Maroons.
It's the beginning of a battle with the government over the Blue Lagoon in Portland. Residents and environmental lobby groups are upset that after 8 months, the attraction remains closed. The beach property was closed to facilitate rehabilitation works and was expected to reopen after 2 months. But now the people are concerned that the facility could soon be privatized, as they are yet to receive any updates on the progress of ongoing works.
NEPA is in charge of protecting the environment, but they are in the Ministry of Job Creation and Economic Growth. So what do you think is going to happen? They're going to trample on the rights of the people for profit.
Access to the road leading to the property has also been restricted, which for the people constitutes a breach of their rights.
This is a parish council road. Right. They have no legal right to block it up.
Yes, you're right.
It's a free access to the beach since we can visit our own beach.
This is made up.
This is totally wrong.
The people marched to the property to demand answers, but were restricted by iron barriers and a team of police personnel. And this was enough to add fuel to their fire.
We're not insured to pick up money. We are getting paid as a courier. We're getting paid as a response officers. Right? We are starting at 7 o'clock. And we are driving from 7 o'clock the next morning right through. We are doing over 120 signals per night. We're not getting paid for overtime. We're not getting paid for overtime. Okay, it depends on the zone we work. We get dispatched to alarms. We check premises. We are dispatched to fire alarm. We are dispatched to sick. We are dispatched to tracking. Everything. So we are firefighter. We are counselor. We are police officers. We are psychiatrists. So we wear many caps as a response officer, and we're not getting paid for that. So we are asking for 30%, and that is fair enough. That's fair enough for 30% increase. All right. If the company policy is supposed to call in before 5 o'clock. Suppose we are on the road and emergency take us, and we call in. They deduct 2 days pay for our salary for that. For calling late and calling. 2 days pay.
In our salary.
Right? In our salary without our permission. Consent. Mr. Azar decided to draw 1,000 for our salary towards L card. Without asking us about it. Without our permission.
They don't see your pay.
Right? They did it for our salary. Right?
So we are out here because we need some riches for these things. These things cannot happen. I have an experience about a week and a half ago. They called my team and asked my team to pick up some money. I said to my commander, I can't pick up any money because I'm not a courier team. They are saying that the courier comes with the work. Now I know for a fact that I am not covered to pick up money. 2 persons work on the courier team. Now if you pick up a money, and you go back in that soft body vehicle with the money. If you get a signal and a location, both persons, they are saying it is mandatory that 2 persons have to check the compound. Now, if we are response officers and we are being penalized to do courier service, this is very contradicting to our contractual agreement, and it is wrong. We are not paid for courier. We are not covered under the insurance for courier. We are not paid for courier, and furthermore, we're working in a soft body vehicle. So it is unfair to us. We have a right as employees, and our rights need to be recognized.
Alright, so I'm Delano Berger. I'm the General Manager responsible for operations at King Alarm Services. Alright, so on the matter of wages, to start here, let us be very clear. King Alarm has over 5,000 security officers, along with other employees. And no one here at King Alarm is paid below the minimum wage, right? As it relates to the category of response officers / security officers, the category in which our category of persons protesting now are the response officers, and effective June 1, the wages went up, and prior to June 1, even without a wage increase, none of them would have been below the minimum wage, right? The company took a decision to increase their wages effective June 1, and the increases ranged from 10% to a high of about 40–42%, right? So we're a bit surprised by their action this morning. As it relates to the allegation or the claim from them about being asked to do cash in transit assignments in soft-skin vehicles, that again has to be put in perspective. We have a fleet of armored vehicles that are used for cash in transit assignments. That said, I'm not going to say there may not be the one-off occasion where a soft-skin vehicle is used to pick up an assignment. But for the major part of our operations, we use our armored units. We just imported a number of units recently as well.
Okay, so in terms of they would have also stated that they are being asked to waive their years of work, if they are being transferred, they would have been asked to waive those previous years. So it is like starting from scratch. What would you say to that?
I have no knowledge of that. Again, if somebody is able to substantiate their claim, we are prepared to review the situation, but currently as I speak with you, I am not aware of that situation. Again, the persons that are protesting this morning, we encourage them. Actually, we reached out to them, invited them to a meeting, and they declined to meet with us, right? But we are still prepared to meet with them on a one-on-one basis and examine their concern to see how best the matter can be resolved, or the matters can be resolved.
Now, one thing you should ask yourself now is, why do we have so much protest in these times and this age? And why is it that the young people are the people who are protesting the most in many black countries? We saw the other day in Sri Lanka, we saw the other day in Kenya, we saw the other day in Nigeria, in Gambia, in Guinea, and now we are seeing it in Jamaica. Here's what I got for you. Young people constitute the biggest population in any African population and are the most affected demographic group in any country's socio-economic and political developments. Now, by the year 2019, almost 60% of Africa's population was estimated to be under the age of 25 years, making Africa the world's youngest continent. According to the UN demographic projections, the median age in Africa in 2020 is 19.8 years. Almost 16 million young Africans, around 13.4% of the total labor force of 15 to 24 years old, are unemployed. More than 40% of young Africans consider their current living situation to be very bad or fairly bad, and 60% of Africans or black people, especially the youth, think that their governments are doing a very bad job or a fairly bad job at addressing the needs of young people. Young people are not represented well and are marginalized and excluded from development processes in many African countries and black countries in the Caribbean. This pushes them to participate in demonstration as they try to change political systems that are perceived to be incompetent and responsible for the daily suffering of people. These demonstrations we are having currently have challenged institutions of power, but their influence has failed to go beyond post-protest governments and developments. This is why we are seeing so many young people fighting on the streets, like 60% of young people fighting the street. The median age in Africa is 19.8. Come on, it's like 20 years. The median age. That's such a large number of young people, in a way that this report says that Africa is the youngest country. You understand? The protests happening in Jamaica is as a result of mirroring. The protests in Africa are being mirrored to the Caribbean, because these are just one people. The difference is just the Atlantic Ocean and some culture differences here and there, you know. Now, one thing you should notice that there has been what we called the Arab Spring. If you know the Arab Spring, some guys got shot somewhere in Egypt, and he was a fruit vendor, and it caused a lot of disturbance among the Arabs. So it was called the Arab Spring. Now, since this Arab Spring, many young people in different countries in Africa and black nations have demonstrated against dictatorship, the extension of presidential term limits, and the lack of transparency during election and unpopular socioeconomic policies. In many of these protests, youth movements have managed to gain considerable success in removing political leaders and effecting policy change, but they have failed to bring systemic political, social, and economic change because of a lack of influence in post-protest politics and governance. However, in Sudan, following the fall of Omar al-Bashir, this is way back in 2019, protest led to the formation of a coalition government with the military and a roadmap for a civilian government through election, influencing post-protest politics and development, which has been difficult for many protest movements in Africa over the last decades. Young people, like we've seen in the issue of Jamaica, have been on the forefront during demonstration in the Caribbean and African countries for nations. Since the Arab Spring, youth movements have been leading demonstration across Africa and the Jamaican countries and the Caribbean countries like Jamaica against dictatorship in countries. Okay, there have been demonstrations in African countries and some other Caribbean countries like Jamaica. Some of these African countries are not really shown so much in the mainstream media. We have Tunisia, we have Egypt, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, Senegal, Sudan, Kenya, Nigeria. We have Gambia, Senegal during the president Diomaye, when he was being made the president and he was arrested. You understand what happened? Now, it is time that the leaders understand. The youth are against dictatorship government, squandering of funds, corruption. I personally don't know what's wrong with these black leaders, African leaders, Caribbean leaders. I don't know what's wrong with them. People should learn from others' mistakes. That is what should be happening. People should learn from history, not repeat history. The problem we are seeing now is that Africans and black leaders are just repeating history. There's a lot of similarity between the leadership of Africa and the leadership of the Caribbean. We just have minor leaders in the Caribbean, such as Miamor Motley, who are working hard to ensure that black people are progressive. But the Prime Minister of Jamaica, I've heard so much complaints about him. In the comments, in the videos, in the internet, it's just everywhere. You understand? That the idea is people should learn from history, not repeat it. If you want to repeat history, then you're a fool. Fools are the ones who repeat bad history. We should learn from it. The protests that are happening here in Africa and those Caribbean countries are as a result of burnout. Africans are burnt out. Africans are pissed off. We are just, it's enough for us. We don't want it no more. And that's why Africans and black people are protesting across the world. Maybe if you have some reasons why Africans are protesting, you should give us. You understand? Yeah. That's all for today. Kindly, if you have any thoughts, share your thoughts on the comment section. I'll surely appreciate. If you want to give me a super thanks, I'll so much appreciate as well. Subscribe, give a super thanks, comment, share, and most important, like and subscribe. This is the most important. And the super thanks, 3 times super thanks. See you in the next one.